This video is about the different scientific laboratories in Science Faculty at Universidad Autónoma de Chiriquí. Physics Laboratory. This laboratory has a classroom to teach physics to the students.
Also has an investigation center where realizes different experiments with electricity, electronics, radiation, robotics, complex systems, and used chaos theory.
Wally-1 is a robot programmable that when it hits an object, the robot apologizes.
Chemical Laboratory has an investigation center called CEIQI, Centro de Especialidades de Química Inorgánica.
CEIQI is a research center where they perform thesis work with chemical components such as formalin, formaldehyde, acetone, and others. Laboratory. This laboratory is used for all students of the Science Faculty.
This lab is about biological materials from the cellular level to the organs level. For example, the cells are observed in the microscope and identify the structure of living veins and components.
In this laboratory, the students make tests to different plants and samples of the plant tissue.
Permit the students to learn and know about the plant's body. Zoological Laboratory.
This laboratory is in charge of teaching to the students of the Science Faculty the structure, components, and life form of the animal, such as vertebrates, invertebrates, mammals, aquatic, reptiles, and others.
Medical Technology Laboratory. This is the clinic laboratory of Universidad Autónoma de Chiriquí. Make medical diagnosis for the administrative personnel and students.
Also, teach to the students of medical technology to make medical tests such as immunological, hematology, clinical chemistry, urinalysis, and blood bank.
Food Science and Nutrition Laboratory. These labs are used by a student of nutrition and food science. The students perform physical-chemical analysis, determination of fat, and the pH analysis of the food.
Also are processed products such as jellies, jams, hams, and wines, among others. This machine is used to make deshydrated food. There are stuffed refrigerators to conserve it and also have different instruments that are used in these laboratories. Microbiology and Parasitology Laboratory. This laboratory makes tests about the bacteria, viruses, parasites, fungi, and other infectious agents that can be pathogens for the humans, animals, and others.
There is a Parasitology and Microbiology Center named CEIPAMI. In this center are performed thesis work and different experiments.
The Laboratory of Microbiology and Parasitology is known as risk area and is sterilized before and after to use to eliminate the risk of contamination and are removed under strict safety standards. This area is disinfected with chlorine and other powerful disinfectants.
When the students work with microbial crops, need to use inoculated tubes to eliminate the presence of microorganisms in the sample.
Giselle is a robot that cleans the floor of the classroom.
And then an interview about scientific laboratories at Universidad Autónoma de Chiriquí
by Miss Daira Icaza.
Good morning, my name is Rita Santa Maria
And my name is Liz Herrera.
We are a student of Economy faculty. We are going to realize an interview about scientific laboratories here in the Universidad Autónoma de Chiriquí.
And the first question is, which are the main experiments that are performed in all laboratories in the science faculty?
Well, we have in this faculty a lot of laboratories, especially in this microbiological and parasitology lab. Students try to identify some microorganisms like fungus, bacteria, and parasites, also molds. So the main object is to identify, to recognize, and to try to perform some researches.
The second question is, what are the objectives for which these experiments are performed?
The main objectives always in learning and teaching is the student can perform and make some experiments and try to learn the techniques and methodologies. That's all.
How often students visit the labs?
They obligatory have to be here because they are making this career in order to get a degree. So the most students here is because they were inscribed here. So they try to come, they try to learn because it's a requirement in the study plan.
Are the labs adequately equipped with the necessary tools to perform the experiments?
Yes, nowadays we have most of all the equipment that we need here, because nowadays we have specialized equipment necessary to develop our researches. So many people here can make their researches because they have the tools, the equipment, and also the staff, specialized staff.
Does it necessary to implement all laboratories in this faculty? Does it necessary implement all laboratories in this faculty?
A new ones laboratory.
In this laboratory, in this faculty, implement all laboratories?
In my personal opinion, I think that we need some laboratories like molecular genetics to label molecular, because it's offset right now, because we need a lot of development about this label, molecular. So I think that we need 2 more or 3 more labs, specialized. We have chemistry laboratory, technological medical, we have biology, we have nutrition also. So we need 2 or 3 more.
Are there appropriate personnel to give maintenance to laboratory equipment?
Repeat.
Are there appropriate personnel to give maintenance to laboratory equipment?
Well, we don't have a specialized staff to develop that duty, like to give maintenance to the equipment. We have to pay to to enterprise in order that they come here and they can give that maintenance to our equipment, like a security cabinet, microscope, stethoscopes. We don't have specialized people here. So we have to pay, the university has to pay in order to get that specialized maintenance. We don't have here that kind of stuff.
It's very expensive.
Yes, it's very expensive. That is the reason that we have to care about those equipment. We have to care a lot. For example, a microscope. We have to keep because it's so expensive to count those kind of people because there are a few people that can maintain this equipment.
What care must be taken in the preparation and maintenance of a solution in the laboratory?
The first is the biohazard techniques, biosecurity. Especially in this lab, we try to work with bacteria. So it's so important to use specialist gloves like this, gloves for the hands, and sunglasses for the eyes, and also so this specialized solutions like disinfectant, and also some international rules that we have to take in mind in order to work here. I think also in other labs, but especially in this lab, we have to take care of biohazard techniques.
Next. Is permitted the access to the laboratories to all students of the university?
All students in this university to permit to access in the lab. Okay. As I told you, in order that you can be here, you need a note, a formal note, because you are going to develop a research. If you want to go inside, you need to be using this type of cloth. If you see in the lab, in the door of the lab, there are some requirements to go in this lab. Use gloves like this, use gloves for hands. If you're going to touch something of the equipment or something of the material in the lab of teaching. But as right now, you are making an interview, so you don't need this type of cloth.
No, it's necessary.
No, it is not necessary.
Next question. How to get the reagents that are used in scientific laboratories?
We list a request to some enterprises like ProMed, like ProCien, like CEPLA. They ask for us some requests in order to give the materials for us. Those materials are so expensive, so the university has to pay for that. Like here, for example, like microbiological mediums, equipment, and reagents. Reagents are chemicals. So expensive. Those kind of materials are expensive. That is the reason for which this faculty is so expensive in inscription for the students and also for the materials.
Next question. What are the costs of the equipment in the labs?
Oh my God.
Or
Yeah.
idea.
Approximately.
Yes.
Okay. A microscope can cost like 100, 2,000. A microscope. A cabinet, security cabinet, can cost like 5,000, 6,000. A stethoscope, 2,000. Our media, bacteriological media, like you see here in that cabinet, one bottle can cost 180, 160, and slides that we use in order to make some stains can cost like $40 for a student. The glove that they use at a box can make that $6 for a student. This glove can make $15, $20 for students. They have to pay for that in order to get it. And chemical reagents are more expensive. So it's so expensive, this type of carriers.
Okay. Thanks for valuable information. Thanks for this interview and for your time.
Okay, it was a pleasure for me to help you, and I would like that this information can make you a good job, and also that can spend to people to know about this faculty. Thanks a lot.